I know we're near the end, you guys. I know that you're probably like, can we just get things moving on? So, my friend Sarah always says, be bold, be brilliant, and be brief. And today I'm going to aim for 2 of those, okay? Okay, so it's an honor to be with you today. I entered the direct sales world 12 years ago. My husband, AJ, and I actually vowed to never be in this industry. It seemed salesy, very manipulative, and only certain kinds of people joined this industry. At the time, my boys were 5, 3, and 1. I went to a mom's night out, not realizing how significant that night would change the trajectory of my family's life. 3 direct sellers shared products, and I fell in love with one of them. Went home and told my husband, I know what I want to do next. After swallowing very hard, he looked at me and said, Lindsay, this cannot cost us money, and please do not sell to our friends and family. So, not a big deal. I really wasn't looking at it as a business. It was honestly just a way for me to get out of the house so that ultimately I could be a better mom. I needed an outlet, not a business. But it was not long before I realized this industry has the most incredible benefits if you love flexibility and opportunity. So a few months in, I shifted my hobby to a business, and I learned this principle very early on: never build alone. In 5 years, I was at the top of that company, and to many, this is an inspiring success story. But many also did not know I now faced an unexpected reality about the top of this company. The dream that I had heard so much about, this dream of financial success and so much flexibility, it did not exist. After 10 years, I had over 5,000 team members, like advocates, and 6,000 customers who I had personally enrolled. I worked 50 to 60 hours a week, year after year, and had 4 assistants because that's what it took just to maintain the business, not even grow, just to maintain. I found myself sinking deeper and deeper into the reality of what in the world have I done? And how can I lead all of these leaders on my team to something that doesn't exist? I was dying inside. My income at the top of this company was $4,500 per month with no options for more income. My husband had quit his corporate job. We were homeschooling our 3 boys and felt very called to that life, but the income was not enough. I felt like I was suffocating. Everything changed 2 years ago. It's my 2-year anniversary here tomorrow. Okay. Everything changed 2 years ago when Amy Fulmer, she reached out to me and she said, Lindsay, I don't know if you remember me. Now, you guys, if you know Amy Fulmer, it was more like, Lindsay, I don't know if you remember me, right? She's like the happiest person in the world. She's like a Disney princess. But she said, I don't know if you remember me. And she said, I know you've been successful, but I also don't really know where you're at right now. Would you ever be open to another opportunity? And I told her no for 2 reasons. 1, I told her I did not have it in me to build again. My actual words to her were, the thought of doing this again makes me want to vomit in my mouth. Okay? The second thing I told her is that while I used some essential oils, I did not feel like I could build a business overcoming objections on essential oils. Which company has the purest? Do they even work? Aren't essential oils voodoo? That sounded honestly very hard to me, especially as someone who is very depleted in this industry. Amy's response to me was, Lindsay, while we are the largest essential oil company in the world, our top 2 selling products are actually supplements. And my business brain got a little curious. How in the world does the largest essential oil company in the world have supplements as their top sellers? What did consumers know that I did not? I didn't even know that doTERRA had supplements. So I told her, Okay, I'm a 95% no, but I will give you 5%. And I actually was not giving her 5%. I was giving God 5%, leaving that possibility open in case this was actually his work. So we connected on Zoom, and she showed me pages 6 and 7 of the Build Guide, a practice I now do with every single opportunity conversation that I have. After 2 to 3 weeks thinking and praying about it, my husband said to me, "Are you really thinking about walking away from everything you've built for the last 10 years?" And I said, "I think so." So his advice was, if you are going to do that, I really think you need to research other companies to make sure that you are 100% certain that this is the right place for you. You are not just doing this for you, you are doing this for anybody who comes after you. So I did that. I didn't want to, but I did because I knew he was wise. So I created 5 pillars. And I created those 5 pillars believing that these were actually the critical pillars to building a successful business in direct sales. I met with CEOs, top income earners, VPs of sales. It's amazing when you're top of a company and you're looking at other companies, they make the way for you to meet for them. It was fascinating. I actually also attended leader meetings. I observed company culture. And what was fascinating is, well, I'm going to share with you a few things that are fascinating, but I will say this whole process revealed a lot about the diversity of companies in this industry. Do you guys want to see my 5 pillars? Okay, let's look at them. First, my first pillar was product. It had to be stellar. I actually came from a company that had a stellar product. I know how important that is. And it could not just be a stellar product for me. The product line really needed to be pure. It needed to be research-centered. It needed to be relevant. It needed to be needed. It needed to be affordable. And not just to me and a few. It needed to be all of those things for a vast audience. I was not looking for trendy. I was not looking for flashy. I wanted needed and affordable. Second, the income. Obviously, I've already shared with you my income from my last company. The income was really important. And while I love that the industry allows options for business building, I knew that I wanted a company with huge income potential. It needed to be a place where others who held exceptionally high hopes, goals, and dreams could build. In my research, I actually found that companies loved sharing the income potential, but they performed much less better when I asked the follow-up question, how many people in your company are earning that income? Those answers were more revealing. Number 3, the business model. I came from a party plan model. You party, you make money. You stop partying, you stop making money. And my income was based on head count, not sales volume. So I was recruiting people constantly and had to chase people constantly. You want to talk about burnout? That is a burnout model. So I knew the model that I was looking for had to be more flexible and sustainable over time. Again, not just for me, but for anybody who came after me. Number 4, customer retention. For 10 years, I built in a model and in a company where the customer retention rate was 8 to 10%. That meant that every single month, I had to get 30 to 50 new customers. It is how I got paid. If you're wondering why the people here, many on my team, but also not on my team who came from my company, are hardwired for crazy, because these are the things that we had to do in order to get paid. And candidly, I had been told for years that where I was building was the best thing out there. I just assumed that it was. I never did my research. Customer retention creates long-term business. Finally, number 5, culture. Culture is really important to me. I was looking for like-minded entrepreneurs, those who value people and relationships more than money. And I was also looking for transparency, genuine, but also smart, savvy business. It is hard to find a place that has all 5 of these. And here is what I found. There are many companies who excel at 1 to 3 of these, really, and they do really a good job. But not one. And I actually encourage every single one of you, go do the research. I feel that confident about what we have here. Not one company checked every single one of those boxes except doTERRA. Yeah. So now, because I actually did this research at the beginning, I had no doubt that doTERRA was the gold standard company to build a business with. So when I came in, you guys, my belief was really high because I had already experienced one company and researched several other, and I knew this is exactly where I want to be. So many of you know I hit Blue Diamond in 21 months. I like to be a little more honest. Okay, okay, that is good, yay. But it actually took 12 years. It took 12 years of learning, gaining experiences, succeeding and failing. I paid a lot of dumb tax, which I'm guessing many of you have too, right? I paid a lot of dumb tax in my last 12 years. So when I started at doTERRA, I was very clear that multiplication would be our primary principle for growth. And I think that's what many of you actually want to hear me talk on today. So I will go into that. But before I go into multiplication, I really, really feel like it's important to give credit where credit is due. And I have 5 absolutely incredible business builders. And I'm going to, across the top, starting on the left, platinum leader Ron DeBoss. You guys have seen Sarah Shoemaker. She's the second one there. She's a diamond leader here with doTERRA. Another diamond leader, Sherry Hamlin. Platinum leader, Megan Dorsey. And gold leader, new gold, she started in November, Leah Sweetman. Yeah, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. These leaders, along with our team of advocates, have helped me create an environment of multiplication and a culture of success. And one thing I've learned is that to grow a strong, stable business and successful, you must surround yourself with people who have different strengths, skills, ideas, and experiences than you. These right here are the very people who have helped me level up, and it is the greatest honor to work and learn from them. Okay, you ready to go into multiplication mode? Let's do it. I love this topic. I sleep and breathe this topic. So let's go into a few principles to help you get growing. Here is principle number 1. If you want multiplication, you need simple systems that duplicate. Always ask yourself, can someone else do what I am doing? Simple systems create clarity. Clarity creates confidence for your builders, and confident builders build momentum. As a leader, my goal is to minimize noise. And to be honest with you, I actually wondered whether or not I should invite my leaders to this event. No, please don't take any offense to that, but I don't want them looking at flashy things and getting into the noise, because what we're doing right now duplicates and it multiplies. Okay? Most of us know a confused mind or an overwhelmed mind, it says no. This should force us to simply simplify nearly every aspect of our business. More does not equal better. The longer we are in any business, the more we naturally complicate systems and processes. And it's kind of hard not to, honestly. As we gain more knowledge, take more trainings, learn more tools, try new apps, we organically add to our knowledge that we had when we started this business. This is not a problem. The breakdown comes when I take all that I have learned over many years and now try to integrate it into what a new person is expected to learn. This makes new people shut down or even ghost us. Anybody experience this? Yeah. We have lost touch with the needed simplicity for the new person. Consider this, and you guys, I really hope I don't offend anybody here. Okay, as of today, I cannot tell you the name of our 7 founders. I can tell you 2, Emily Wright, and I think Dr. Hill is one. I can tell you the basics of our foundational wellness bundle, but I cannot tell you what the monthly specials are for this month. I don't know what limonene is, even though I've heard about it a million times. I can't name our president. I keep wanting to say Bill Murray, but I'm like, that's an actor. That's wrong. I don't fully understand co-impact sourcing. Again, Don't be mad at me. Now, many of you might be appalled or probably even feel a little sorry for me, okay? But here's the deal. That knowledge has not been essential for me to get to Blue Diamond, okay? Yes. Plus, I figure I am going to learn it eventually because I'm here to stay. So I can learn those things over time. So what is the lesson in this? Keep it simple. Our team has a simple foundational wellness class once a week on Zoom. And I don't know what class Ashley got that she referred to yesterday that was an hour. I was like, dear God, no, please don't have it be an hour. Ours is not an hour. But I know she said, Lindsay's it was an hour. I'm like, no, it's not. It's 30 minutes. But I'll check with her on that, make sure she has the right one. We provide wellness education for the first 15 minutes, and then we present supplements for the second 15 minutes. And guess what's amazing about that? We can duplicate it every week, every month, every year, and the brain can say yes to that. This clarity creates confidence for our advocates to bring in new builders. Bringing in new builders creates momentum. So my question for you today is this. When you look at your classes, your meetings, your opportunity events, the tools you're using to grow your business, your customer appreciation events, your onboarding, your launch plans, your vendor tables, how complicated is it? Can someone do what you are doing? Let's look at principle number 2. Grow the whole business and teach your advocates to do the same thing. You have 4 areas of the business: customer acquisition, customer retention, builder acquisition, and builder retention. Let me show you a tool that I like to use. This is a monthly planning tool. It breaks up the 4 areas of the business into 4 quadrants. You have new customers and retention on the left side, and you have new builders and builder retention on the right side. Each month, the advocate using this tool must fill in 1 strategy in each of the quadrants. Here's why this is simple but significant. Let's think about a new builder who joins your team. The new builder launches and has 5 new customers enroll. This creates confidence in your new advocate, so he decides to approach 3 friends about the business. All 3 friends say no. What kind of subconscious feedback does this give to the new builder? It tells him that getting customers is easier and it's what he's good at. It gives him immediate positive feedback regarding the left side of this quadrant and negative feedback about the right side of the quadrant. Now, the brain is designed to keep us safe. So what do you think naturally results in this new builder's business? He begins to shift his time, attention, and creativity to the left side of the quadrants. It is safe there. It feels productive and successful. Over time, he builds a business through the principles of addition. The right side of the quadrant is how you multiply. I'm not great at math, but I do know that both addition and multiplication grow. One is simply faster than the other. So what happens when we start building using only the strategies on the left side? We enter into hustle. We are more likely to burn out. We build alone. Everything is dependent on us. Anybody feel that way? Okay. This creates a hard, fragile business. And this is the cost of staying safe on the left side of the quadrant. The reason I like this tool is that even if my builder has been told no 1,000,000 times, this tool still holds them accountable to focus on finding new builders each month. So this tool creates accountability and consistency. And what I find over time is that the advocates who use this tool develop a skill set in finding and building leaders that forces them to push through the negative feedback from the no's. I also like this tool as a resource for newer leaders who are unsure how to coach their advocates. This allows them to collaborate together to create strategies for each quadrant. This helps builders focus their time and not get caught up in noise. It also equips leaders to lead their builders using simple, duplicatable tools. Remember, this is all about simplicity. Simplicity creates clarity, clarity creates confidence, and confidence creates momentum. So let's look at principle number 3. You only have so many hours a week to work, and there is a lot to do. How do you prioritize your time? Here's my principle. Multiplication takes priority over addition. If I have someone who wants to learn more about the business and someone who wants to learn more about product, both are valuable. But my general principle is that the multiplier gets first priority in scheduling my time. Funny story, I was behind on the deadline for this presentation. I felt the stress of getting it in, getting it submitted, getting feedback, going through legal, all the things. However, when I was in the middle of putting it together, I had a potential builder reach out and say they might be interested in learning more about the business. So I literally closed out this presentation, focused on my attention on that person, and I put this off. I will put off editing classes, learning the latest science, paying for the latest and greatest training, learning new tools, or understanding current specials so that I can prioritize potential builders. Keep this in mind. When you bring on a new builder, you get both a builder who is a multiplier and a customer. You get a 2-for-1 deal. While builders are hard to come by than wholesale customers, just know their value is exceedingly great because they multiply and become an avid product user. So my question for you today is this: how are you prioritizing potential builders? Principle number 4, duplicate from high belief. It's unrealistic to think that any team, including my own, is filled with only advocates with high belief. It is simply untrue. This last fall, I was seeing recruiting on my team start to decrease, so I polled my team. I asked what was holding them back from sharing the business. 2 things immediately emerged. First, many did not feel they were making enough money to feel legitimate in talking to potential builders. Second, many did not feel equipped to share the details of our business opportunity yet. Because of this feedback, we made 2 changes that we've seen great results with. We added a 15-minute business overview at the end of our classes, and we instituted 3-way calls for our advocates. When I started 2 years ago, Amy Fulmer led nearly every call that I had with potential builders for my first 6 months. Our team hit diamond at 3 months, but I still needed her confidence, her knowledge, her belief, all of that in sharing the business. I was too new. I didn't understand enough yet. I simply wasn't ready, even though we were growing very quickly. Amy could share the business with strength and confidence, and she could answer questions that I could not. During this time, I was able to multiply my team, growing off of Amy's belief, while also developing my ability to share the business with others as well. We never stopped multiplying because I lacked the skill or belief. We simply addressed the roadblock. My frontline builders now provide the same support to their advocates, and this has become valuable for 2 reasons. First, it allows the potential advocate to hear about the business for the first time from someone who has confidence in this opportunity. This allows this high belief to be passed to the potential new advocate. When our new advocates start, they are very excited and confident for what is ahead, and much of this is due to this 3-way call and who we are having sharing the business. But the second value that comes from this 3-way call is for the advocate who invited the potential builder. This advocate often needs a reminder of why he or she is doing the business and what is possible here. As they listen to the opportunity being shared, they are reminded about why they love this business. Belief is now passed down to both the current advocate and the potential builder. This was a huge gift that Amy gave to me. So we don't just have 3-way calls to have 3-way calls. We have 3-way calls because it duplicates belief in our current and future advocates. Our multiplication depends on it. Let me give you one more example. Once a month, our team hosts a Learn More opportunity call. The objective of this call is for potential builders to come and learn more. We also strongly encourage our advocates to attend, whether they have a potential builder on that call or not. This call is facilitated by leaders who love the doTERRA business, are growing, and are in a healthy headspace. We are very strategic to put those with high belief in front of current and potential advocates. Why? Because we want to duplicate high belief at every single level of our organization. Belief fuels multiplication. And here are our 4 principles, if you want to have them all on one slide. Okay? All right. Okay, let's wrap this up. So where do we go from here? I have a couple of considerations for you. I love doTERRA products. I wouldn't be here today if we did not have a stellar, high-impact product. In fact, Lifelong Vitality has completely changed my life. However, do you realize that offering the business multiplies the impact you make beyond anything you could possibly imagine? We now open a wider world of possibilities to people when they not only get to have incredible products, but also incredible income and impact as well. And that is a gift you currently hold in your hands that you have to choose whether or not you will offer. So here's the first thing I'd ask you to consider. Would you consider that while many people walk through the product door when they come into doTERRA, that there's actually a world of people out there who would love to walk through the business opportunity door? The gift of this door is that they get both the business and the product. It's a 2-for-1. Second consideration for you. As you examine your business and think about where your time, energy, and focus lies, would you consider elevating potential new builders on your priority list? So instead of refining your class PowerPoint just one more time, you might start building a list of your dream builders. Instead of getting expert knowledge on an LTO product, you might brainstorm how to genuinely reach out to someone you'd love to have on your team. Instead of only having flyers out about products at your vendor tables, you might also have a flyer that asks if they'd love to join the Maha movement and earn an income through wellness. Yeah, right? Slight differences, right? Just some slight shifts that are happening. Do you see how slight shifts in your priorities can make a massive difference over time? By the way, please hear me say, I am not asking you to stop new customer growth. I'm asking you to consider making potential builder growth just as high of a priority. And finally, I have one more thing for you to consider. Where is your belief in yourself? Where is your belief in doTERRA's business? Your belief impacts your ability to multiply. So I'm going to share an exercise with you today that I like to do with my leaders when they are struggling with belief. And we don't actually have time to do the whole thing here, but I want to actually show you how it works so that you can do it in the future with yourself or even just your leaders. You will want to have a piece of paper. And on the first side of the paper, you're going to title it, My Roadblocks. This is your opportunity on your roadblocks page to write down every single thing that hinders you from growing. In fact, I even let my leaders compare themselves to others for this exercise. Tell me all the ways that you're not as good as another leader. You can go there on page 1. You might say, I don't have experience. I don't have an upline. My team is all gone. I don't make as much as I used to. I don't make as much as so-and-so. I live in a small town. I don't know as many people. My network isn't as good. Spend 5 to 10 minutes exploring all of those thoughts that sit and talk to you all day long, telling you why you cannot accomplish or achieve what you desire here. And once you've explored all of those thoughts, you're going to flip the page over, okay? And now the focus on page 2 is all that I have going for me. All that I have going for me. On this page, you think about your strengths. You think about your experiences that you bring to the table. What kind of support is around you? Whether it's family, friends, peers, what expertise do you have? What have you already achieved? Take 5 to 10 minutes and put it all down. And now the lesson comes. I know, I knew that was coming. And I knew brief was not going to be the one for you today. Okay, every one of us, I'm almost done. Every one of us, from the Natalie Goddards of this world, to the Dana Moores, to the Christian Resumes, to the Matt Halls, have a page number 1. Every one. But here's what I found. Leaders who grow wake up every day and they grow and lead from page 2. It doesn't actually even matter what's on page 1. It only matters what's on page 2. Build from that, lead from that. Leaders who grow maximize whatever is on that page. And by the way, what is on that page is different for every single leader. So my challenge to you is this. When you get up tomorrow, from which place are you going to grow and lead? The choice is yours. Okay? I've totally been musicked, but I'm not finishing until I say this. Many years ago, I handed over lordship of my life to Jesus. Yeah. So ultimately, he brought me to doTERRA. And I'm honestly here because of obedience. And while I know that doTERRA is the gold standard for building a business in this industry, I would not be here if he did not lead me here. When I wake up every day, I give everything I have to this business, my gifts, my talents, my creativity, my endurance, and it's honestly not because I think doTERRA or the world has anything to offer me. It's out of reverence and gratitude for what Jesus has given me. doTERRA, you guys, is an incredible vehicle for wealth generation and for impact, and the people here are the best of the best, truly. But it cannot offer what Jesus can. Forgiveness of sins, peace, freedom from bondage, and an eternity that is secure. I am unattached to my outcomes at doTERRA, truly, every day. So I offer the business to everyone. I'm not worried if they say no. I'm here to bring God glory. That and that alone is what gets me up every day to build this business. Thank you so much for having me today.